Hey everyone, the name is Kris. Welcome to Gear Corner. I just bought an Analogman King of Tone pedal. And I did that even though I already had an Analogman King of Tone. Why would anyone do something like this? I'll talk about that. It actually has a good reason. But even more importantly, since I have two of these here, a new one and an old one, why don't we compare them? Because I've heard that people assume, or sort of, I don't know, there are rumors that a new King of Tone doesn't have the same components inside anymore as an old one, and they sound different, and it's not the same thing anymore. And it's interesting. So why don't we compare them, and why don't we look inside them? If you're familiar with the King of Tone, you know that there are some options you can order it with. First of all, the most obvious one is the finish difference. This is the normal finish, this sort of purple enclosure and the gold, script on it, or like design or whatever. You can also ask for an inverse King of Tone if you order one, which means that the whole pedal is gold and then the writing on it is purple. And also in the inside, you can order them normal with one input, one output, 9-volt connector, and that's it. Or you can also ask for 4 jacks, which means that you have a separate in and out per side. It's a dual overdrive, so you have 2 times the same pedal built in, and you can use a pedal switcher in a way that you connect the 2 sides to different loops of that switcher, and with that you can remotely turn both sides on and off without actually stepping on these switches on the pedal. Makes sense, right? Another option that I went for is the higher gain chip, or higher gain whatever mod on one side, which is the red side, the right side of the pedal. I had it on the original pedal. This is a higher gain mod side, and this is a normal side, less gain a little bit. And I learned to love this mix a lot. Long story short, the 2 pedals have the exact same specs. Everything is exactly identical about them, which is important to know when you're doing a comparison, obviously. There's one more thing that needs to be said. You have 3 gain options for each side, which means that you can go for almost like a clean boost, kind of no clipping or barely any clipping setting. Then there's the overdrive setting, and then there's the distortion setting. These 3 options are available for both sides, and on both of the pedals I have the same thing happening, which means that the yellow side, the left side, has the overdrive setting, which is the mid gain setting, and the red side with the high gain chip has the distortion setting active, which means that's the most amount of gain. Then the rig is, I'm not running into any other pedals right now, just one of these King of Tones. Then I'm going into the Rev Dynamis 740 head. From there, I'm going into the aux box for cabinet simulation and microphone simulation. And from the aux box's stereo out, I'm going into that golden reverberator from UAFX, which gives me some spring reverb. And then from there, I go into the audio interface and then into my laptop. Let's do the first round of comparisons. This is going to be where all of the knobs are going to point to the exact same position, right? So I'm not compensating for volume, for drive, for presence, for whatever. Even the two little pots inside, which is a presence knob for both sides, both the red side and the yellow side, even these points to the exact same position on both of the pedals. Let's do a couple of rounds. Honestly, I don't think it's even necessary to use earbuds or headphones or good quality speakers to hear the differences. It's pretty obvious and surprisingly big, actually. The new King of Tone has somehow maybe less volume or less gain compared to this with the exact same settings, and definitely less openness or like presence or this glassy overtone thingy. A big difference, especially for the player, because if you play with dynamics and want to have those poppy sort of nice and glassy stuff sometimes, and this doesn't give it, it's like, oh, okay, too bad. But then I started tweaking the tone knob, the volume, the gain, whatever, and figured out something. So all I had to do on the new pedal to match the tone of this is turn up these presence knobs a little bit. So these are on a scale of like 1 to 10 or like 0 to 10. These are at 2, maybe 2.5, but something like that. And on the new one, I had it at the same position until now. In the second round, I will turn it up to around like 3.5, 4 out of 10. So still under 50% open the knob, but still like more turned up than on the old pedal. Let's take a listen. So honestly, from this point on, even if there's anything, like any difference that you can measure or like put on, I don't know, a frequency analyzer and then search for a few frequencies that are, I don't know, different in the two pedals, I couldn't care less, literally, because they feel the same. They sound, to me, 100% the same. And at this point, as told, I don't care anymore. It's good to be nerdy, but at the end of the day, it only matters how good or bad or different a piece of gear feels. And if it feels right, it is right. All right, let's take a look inside the two pedals, because there was this rumor going around that new King of Tone pedals will not have exactly the same components as King of Tone pedals from a few years back, because most of these are simple components and, anyone can buy them. It's like normal resistors and whatever. But some of these parts, and I do not know which ones, are discontinued for a couple of years now. And Analogman says on the website too that they have to source these exact parts. They have to, I don't know, travel around and look for old piece of electronic equipment and get those parts out, measure them, and if they have a certain value, then use them for the King of Tone. So apparently that's something that some people would say they cannot find anymore, and then they are using different parts. As far as I can tell, these two are literally identical inside. Like every single component you can see looks exactly the same on both of these pedals. And this one is a 2018 pedal, my old one. And it's interesting. I think whoever bought it immediately sold it, because that's when I got it. I got it in 2018. And this is a brand new one, as told. This was, I don't know, put together a few weeks ago, and then it traveled over the Atlantic, and now it's here with me. Let's talk about this situation here. Why would someone get two of these pedals? I mean, they are rare, they're not super cheap, etc. What is the point of it? Is it not just a waste of money? Well, in a way it is, but not really. Let me tell you why. So the thing is that I got on the King of Tone waiting list, because there is a pretty long waiting list for these pedals. I got on that list in 2017. I think Christmas Day, maybe a few days before Christmas, right? So December 2017. And then I waited a couple of months. I checked on the list all the time, and I was like, oh, this list is just getting longer and longer. And oh my God, I'll be waiting for at least 2 years, if not 3 or even longer. So I started to look around online what these things go for. And at that point in 2018, these had like a price range, used price, is we're talking about, of like $500 up to like maybe $650, maybe $700. But $700 was like already like, no one would pay that much money for a pedal like this. So I found something in the States who sold it for under $500 or around 500, which at that point in euros, which is my currency, was way under. It was like 430, 40 euros, something like that, which is a lot for a pedal. But because these are collectibles and they are so expensive used, I knew that even if I want to sell it, I can just sell it without losing any money. Actually, I could even make money on it, but I hate that overpricing. Let's earn money on stuff that are rare kind of situation. So still, I could just sell it for the same exact money whenever I want to, and it's like it's pretty much an investment, or like I don't know, like having a bank account. You have money on there. It's just better because this doesn't lose value. It's the opposite. So I was like, whatever. I had the money at that time, so I was like, I'll buy one used, and that will get me through those years of waiting until my new one that I personally order at Analogman is finally being produced and being shipped to me. So that's what I did. I got this pedal. This is the pedal that you've been seeing on this channel as well, and you've heard it a million times, that I almost pretty much forgot about this waiting list situation. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a second, there was something. Let's check on the website. And then this was in June, and I was like, oh, okay, we're getting really close to December 2017, to those orders that were placed in December 2017. And then I got the email that I'm on the top of the list. I can order mine. What are the specs that I want? So I obviously didn't cancel my order. I wanted to get one that is golden, because that was like from day one my dream finish. So yeah, I ordered it, and the thing is that used prices are crazy on these, but the new price is more than fair. I think the base model with just 2 jacks would be like 200 and whatever, $70, something like that. There are so many drive pedals that are not that rare, and they don't need to search for all the rare parts and whatever. They don't have any waiting lists and are way more expensive than that. So talking about Vemram pedals, the Gladio, Cornerstone, etc. There are so many pedals that are more expensive than a new King of Tone. So if someone wants to hate on this situation with the crazy used prices, hate on those who push those prices up. It's not Analogman. It's those people who want to just earn easy money. Yeah, whatever. My suggestion is, if you want to get a King of Tone and you don't want to wait years, get on that list right now and buy one used. Like, search for the least money hungry person's offer, get it, play it until your order hits the top of the list at Analogman, then order yours, and then sell the one that you bought used, overpriced, for the same money you bought it. And with that, you didn't wait years for the pedal, and you didn't lose money on buying one for, I don't know, 800 euros or bucks, because you just park that money. You pay that money for something that you use for a few years and then sell it for the same amount of money. All right, let me know in the comments below what you think about the sounds you've heard about this whole King of Tone hype situation. I know many people will hate on the pedal, even though it didn't deserve it, but hey, whatever. We all should be allowed to think whatever we want to think, and that's fine. You guys take it easy. See you next week in a new video, and meet you down there in the comments. Bye bye.